Two, one. So, hello everyone. Welcome to the session for how to become an IFSA official for this IFSS 22 online session. I'm your current facilitator, Chloe, head of communications, and I'd like to welcome you all and thank you for your time in attending this session. And we hope that you learn a lot about the road to becoming an IFSA official, and we're also excited to hear from our speakers who will be sharing their experiences, thoughts, and advice in how you can proceed to become an IFSA official with these information. So, for the agenda, let's just review that we have the following points. So, first is what does it mean to be an IFSA official? Second is the recap on the structure of the IFSA and the IFSA wheel. If you can recall from our discussions in previous sessions, like IFSA 101. And then there's also the requirements, then testimonials from our speakers, and an exciting announcement at the end of the session. So to start, we'll have some discussions from two IFSA officials. That's first we have Apsana, the Northern America regional representative, and we have Elvis, the head of C4 and YIL subcommission. So to start off the discussion, we'll be passing the floor to Apsana for what does it mean to be an official at IFSA.
Thank you, Chloe. Hello, everyone. Good morning to all of you who are in this side of the world, and good afternoon and evening to the ones on the other. My name is Afsana, and I am the current North American regional representative. And today I'll be talking about, give you a brief introduction about like what does it mean to be an official, what are the requirements, and yes, and of course we'll be sharing the short testimonial. So first of all, every time when I hear the word official, it's kind of intimidating, right? Like, what does that mean? Like, what is it? Is it a like it's scary to me. But in IFSA, an official is usually a voluntary commitment of students, usually for a tenure of 1 year. It can be students and young professionals. And then officials will be representing a specific area where they will be contributing for a certain time. And so most of the time, the specific area could be, let's say, if I am serving as a regional representative for North America, my core area would be looking at the region, North America, collaborating with the local committees, but also collaborating with the other officials within the IFSA, like today's session itself, which is a collaboration between different officials, right? So that is the first work as the contribution in the specific area. But the second thing is also the beauty of IFSA is our diversity. Like we are so many members from so many countries, so many regions. So there is a lot of cultural exchange within us. So as officials, it is also our responsibilities to, like bring those different cultural perspectives in our working agendas. Third is collaboration with the other officials. As a simple example to it, as I already said, like today's event itself is a collaboration where like somebody from the membership council, maybe from the inter commissions to all the different areas, we're collaborating because without collaborations, our activities are not possible. Fourth is through IFSA, we can build so many new friendships. Like we are people from across the world living in different regions, doing different great jobs. So this is the best platform to make different friendships. And then the other thing is, as students, when we are like, building a career, we are building our like skill set, this is a responsibility that really develops our personal and professional skills. Like, let's say I, as a master's student, when I'm planning to enter into the world of working spheres, there are so many things that I don't know within my university of, education. But when I, or like anybody is given as the responsibility of official, it also helps us, like comes us with us to push our limits and then go beyond our comfort zone. But at the end, like we are learning so many skill sets that we had not thought when that we would be learning, if we were not within the IFSA officials or any responsibilities. And so within IFSA, it's also like we are the same people who are working in forestry, environmental domains. So, like in the future, 10 years from now, we all will be also together in the same domain of work. So, this is a great opportunity where you can like network not only within the people inside IFSA, but also different organizations and different, sectors that are working within forestry and environment. And this is a great chance to build our networking and then like find those people who are maybe in our dream jobs or who can give you your like first job or like who can be a mentor. So this is the great platform through which we can build our networking. And last but not the least within the list is like post COVID, especially, we are living in a digital time where so many things happens on the internet, and entire world is reliant on like Google tools, maybe like all the different tools that come up with internet. So this is also giving us chance to like access over how an organization structured, like especially a international organization like IFSA, how things are developed and collaborated within the internet tools, how can we learn to use them and also know more about them. So this is a basic overview about like what does it mean to be an official at IFSA. May I request to change the slide, please? So any organization, every organization have a structure, right? Like, so there are different bodies that are functioning within an organization. So this might be a repetitive, as Chloe said, but to give a brief overview, like IFSA has made like the central part of IFSA, like to the center is the board, where there's like president, executive secretary, treasurer, vice president, and also three representatives from three core departments of IFSA: the internal counselor, membership counselor, and external counselor. And within these, there are different sub bodies that are being represented. So if you want to like go and get a brief overview about them, you can go to the IFSA website and see, let's say, like the membership counselor lets different members across the different regions, let's say. And then if you go to our website and press across, any of these, you can know about what are the different other departments, other sub bodies that are working and functioning under it, and what are their key responsibilities, such as membership counselor, or under the membership, there might be different representatives who are representing different regions. Whereas under the internal commissioner, there might be like the heart and core of IFSA that is like working together to like bring this organizational internally, people who are working on the background, like to build all the different things that is coming out. And in the external counselor, we might have all those great people who are like collaborating with the other international partners who can, who are the reason behind we are growing. So all these, heart, body, soul of IFSA is within our different departments that like different people are leading and different commissioners are working on building. So the next slide, please. Yes, to be anything, there is a requirement. Without requirement, we can't, achieve something, right? So what are the requirements to be an official? Like might be wondering, like, how can I be on that picture, or how can I can do that great job? So if you have that thing in your mind, the first thing is, yes, there will be a lot of open calls that would be announced through different IFSA platform, whether that's on the website, whether that's on the social media. So the first thing you can do is you need to read those instructions, because there are so many information that might be lost if you don't read it. So yes, every time you see an open call, make sure that you go through it, not skim, but read through it, because things are mostly clear on the open call. And the other most important thing is you need to have a motivation, because this is a commitment. Like if a commission or official requires your time, your motivation, and your energy. So if you don't really think that you have the motivation, or if it's not the right position, then maybe there is someone else who has the motivation. But if you think that, yes, this is the correct position for me, go for it. If you have that motivation, bring it on. We need it. And the other thing is research. As students, research is are really important. So it's always good to, like, go and see who is leading that position right now. So let's say if you want to represent like my position, it's or someone else's position, it's always good to, like, go and see what they are doing, what are the things, like what are the two approaches they are bringing, why is the thing they are doing the way, and what is the thing that could be done better, because there is nothing that is like perfect, right? So it's always good to like bring all those ideas about like the position that you want to apply and work on yourself. And then the next thing is prepare all the necessary documents that you need for your applications, because there are so many times when, like, it's not only while you're applying for IFSA official, but like in any positions that you apply. I recently heard that there are like almost 30 to 40% of applications that are thrown away because they are not complete. So make sure that when you apply, you have all the documents and all the requirements that you want, because we want you. And just because your application is incomplete, we can't lose you. So make sure that we have all the necessary documents that you want. And yes, be careful with the deadline. Everything comes with a deadline. So we want things to be submitted like during the deadline itself. Next slide, please. So, yes. So, what are the further requirements to be an official? So, like I said, you need to have that great motivation, right? But that motivation needs to be translated in a motivation letter. Otherwise, the person who's skimming your application, how would they know that you have the right motivation? So, the first and important thing is write your story in that motivation letter. Like, it it just be natural, be honest, and say, why are you so motivated and interested? We want to hear your story and we want to see what is your motivation behind applying it. The second is the membership verification letter that is usually given by your local committee. My colleague afterwards would be speaking more about like how you can uh, build on this membership verification letter. And the third is if you are applying for any board position or head of commission, then you need to have a brief overview work plan of what are your, like plans and what are your agendas and everything that you wish to do during your tenure as an official. So that is necessary if it is for any application. And yes, your beautiful video about who you are, what you're doing, what is your motivation, and what are your key values and agendas that you bring on, like IFSA as an official. So these are some of the requirements that you need to have as for your application. And for the next half of it, I would want to invite my colleague to take it further. Is it?
Thank you, Afsana, for your great presentation. And so, yes, again, me with the membership verification on website. So, yes, as Afsana said, in your process of applying for an IFSA position, official position, you have to verify your membership in the IFSA. So, and how you can do that? The most recommended way is to use the membership verification on the website. And in order to be verified on the website, you need to create your account on the IFSA website, and then be verified by your LC admin. So for each term, all information you need is in the link provided in the presentation. and you don't have to actually take any other steps if you are verified on the website. When you are verified, a verified member in the website, in the application process, there's no option. You don't see any option about verifying your membership. Next slide, please. So here is an example of an LC dashboard, LC admin dashboard. Here you can see many members from IFSA PLB, I think, yes. And they sent membership verification to their LC account. And here's a list that the LC can approve them or reject them. The responsibility of approving the membership, verifying the membership, is up to the LCs. So yes, and this. Next slide, please. And if you are not a verified member on the website, it's okay, you can still apply, but then you need to have a letter from your LC, a person in charge in your LC, a president or vice president, to confirm that you are actually a member of the IFSA, member of the LC, which means a member of IFSA. These are two examples of a verification letter from LCs. But if you are an admin, if you are an LC representative, or if you want to know how to write letters like this, you can take these examples, or you can just write to your regional representative and they can help you with writing a verification letter. And so I think this is the last slide about membership verification, and I give the floor to Elvis. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Ali. My name is Elvis Omoit. I'm from Uganda, and I'm the head of Subcommission Center for International Forestry Research and Youth in Landscapes at IFSA. But I work with the Global Landscapes Forum as Youth in Landscapes intern for Africa. Yeah, so of course, moving forward with this conversation about becoming an IFSA official, I'll jump right away into the motivation letter. It's one of the requirements you need to apply as an official to IFSA. And of course, the motivation letter is basically meant to support your application, and it should tell us why you're the perfect candidate for this position. I mean, you should take it upon yourself to, shine on paper and tell us, what you bring to the IFSA family joining as an official. Yeah, so you tell us more about you and also what you've done in the past that might be really very important to the IFSA family. Yeah, of course, you need to maintain formality when you're writing a motivation letter. There is a formal way of writing a motivation letter, and we shall have an example later on. Yeah, so it is really an opportunity for you to sell yourself and also for people to know what you can really do as an official in the position you're applying for. But of course, in this process of shining, don't forget to really be honest and realistic in your application. Some people tend to exaggerate things. I mean, I've read quite a number of motivation letters in my work at the Global Landscapes Forum, and some are really, some of them really go beyond the ordinary of what is expected of a position they are really applying for. Yeah, so IFSA is a learning environment, and we don't expect you to know everything. So you also need to know, what you really know and what you can have on paper. Yeah, then you have to keep it short and sweet. Motivation letter shouldn't really go beyond 2 pages. And if you can put it on 1 page, the better. And of course, it's always set to a maximum of 800 words. And in 1 page, you can really impress. So you shouldn't really take it upon yourself to maybe make use of all that 2 pages. Yeah, so most importantly, it should have your name and a description about yourself, because we don't know you when you're applying. So we need to read and understand who this person is. And as Asmana talked about something very, very important, telling your story. When you're writing a motivation letter, it's important for you to tell us that unique story about you, because everyone has a story to tell anyway. Yeah, so sell your unique story in your application during writing the motivation letter. Yeah, so it's also very important for you to make the position you're applying for very clear, because I mean, you might be applying just as an official, but there are a number of official positions. So you must be specific whether you're applying for a board position, whether president or vice president or treasurer, or you're applying as a regional representative or a head of commission or a head of subcommission. Yeah, so it's also important for you to share the experience that you have with IFSA, right from your LC. What are some of the activities and events you've been involved in your LC, and also regionally within your regions, North America, North Africa, South Africa. What have you done in the region? There are always regional meetings. Do you attend some of those? There are always events where they call for delegations. For example, we have a delegation that is will be going to GLF Africa, delegations that will be going to COPS. It's important for you, even if you're not an official, to be involved in some of these because they help you when you're really applying for a position. Then it's also important for you to let us know why this position is really of interest to you. And for this, you should check the IFSA job descriptions document, which is always on the website. And you can also ask any IFSA official to share with you this document so that you understand what actually are the roles and of course the time commitment for the position you're applying for. So to see that it really fits your, first of all, of course, it should be in line with what you're really passionate about, because of course there are a number of organizations that we partner with and I mean, if there is one that really interests you, it would be very important for you to apply for such a position. Then for the board and heads of commission, they're always tasked with writing a work plan. But also, if you're applying to be a head of subcommission, it's important for you to have a picture of some of the things you want to do and to achieve in your term, because during an interview, they might ask you some of these things, and you should be clear about what you really want to achieve in this position. Yeah, and last but not least, the experience, skills, and knowledge, which I've already talked about, that you'll be bringing to the team, but also telling that a unique story about you. Next slide, please. Okay, so this is an example of a motivation letter. This was written by Isabel when she was applying for a position of social media commission, and you can see some of the things she included. Of course, some of the activities that she was looking at doing in her term, and also, of course, her motivation for applying for this position. You can clearly see that she understood the position she was applying for through the job descriptions. Yeah, so of course, this is also something that we can share with you if you want to, and you can take a look for you to understand maybe how to script your motivation later. Yeah, next slide, please. Okay, thank you. Yeah, so you're also tasked to submit a video, and this video should be looking at some of the highlights that you mentioned in your motivation letter. in terms of what are some of the things that you want to do as an official. Of course, a little bit about yourself, who you are, what you're doing, and also don't forget that it should be a 2 minutes maximum video. That is the time limit that is already set, and you should take some time to look at this video, to watch it, and don't be afraid to record as many as you want, as long as you get one that you're impressed with, that you can share, that should really have your striking points captured, and also it should have good sound that is audible, so that when someone is looking at your video, I mean, they're able to attach your picture to what you wrote in the motivation letter. They can attach a 3D picture of you in the motivation letter when they read it, when they see what you mentioned in your video. Yeah, next slide, please. Okay, now, of course, mentioning about the work plan. Of course, this is tasked for the board positions, that is for the president, vice president, treasurer, and the executive secretary, but also the heads of commissions. And here you're required to submit a draft work plan for the IFSA term that you're applying for. And as you can see, this document here, which is like a template, it has, of course, you include the tasks that you want to do in your term, and also look at who else could be involved in some of these tasks that you're setting forth, because in IFSA we work as a team. You'll find that most of the work we do cross-cuts within commissions and sub-commissions. Then you also, of course, have to look at definitely most of the activities that are done by probably the previous official. This is the importance of reaching out to a person who has been holding the position to understand what they have been doing, so that it can guide you in creating this work plan easily, than just creating something out of the blue that might not align with what IFSA is doing. It might be really good, but it might not be aligning with what IFSA is doing. And of course, this should be 1 to 2 pages, and explaining what you really want to do in these positions for that IFSA term. And next slide, please. Okay, so after writing your motivation letter, recording this video, you have your verification letter, then you can fill in a Google form that is already shared on the call. When you click on the link that is put on the website or that is shared with you, it always has a Google form for you to put in these details and to attach these documents and links to the video you might have submitted. And then after that, you can submit your application. And if you have any doubts or questions, you can also feel free to reach out to opencall@ifsa.net, and they can always guide you. And but of course, most importantly, reach out to the current position holder, who always guide you with more information about the position, and also what experience they have with the position, what might be the gaps and the needs that you may need to address, and also to understand what time you might actually need to commit for you to maybe deliver in this position. Yeah, so I advise you to always reach out to the current position holders for guidance on that. Yeah, so I guess that is it from me, and I think back to you, Chloe. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much to all of our speakers for sharing those wonderful stories and experiences. And of course, the motivational words, because it made me feel like I want to apply for an IFSA official position again. Just because of how motivating their presentations were. And I definitely remember the nervous feeling of drafting up my own letter, making my video, and wondering if am I really going to be able to be part of this wonderful team who's handling so much, and they look so advanced in everything. But yeah, maybe that's something that our speakers can also add up to when we hear about how their experience has gone as IFSA officials. So we'll have some testimonials from them, starting again with Apsana, then Ali, and then Alivis. So take it away, guys.
Hi everyone again. So I was onboarded into IFSA official like 3 months ago because somebody else gave up that position. And like within this 3 months, I can already feel there's so much change that I have felt within myself. It's not just because of the responsibilities or skill sets that I am like building on to be a part of this position, but also the great friendships and like different things that I'm learning from either the cultural exchange programs or just interacting with my colleagues from across the world. So it has really, like opened my eyes of looking at forestry itself or environment itself, and also learning to empathize like what people are saying. So that is like some key highlights that I earned within this 3 months of my time.
All right, thank you, Apsana. So maybe we can have Ali next for his testimonial.
I have the first position I had in IFSA was the Commissioner for Cultural Competencies. And after that, I am a regional representative of Asia Pacific. And I should say that I was like everything in IFSA was completely new for me. I didn't expect to have an official email, ali.bali@ifsa.net. And when I got the email, I was thinking, oh my God, what is this? What I got? It's something very unusual. So, and I also didn't have any experience about Google Docs presentations and stuff like that. It took me several months to get used to them. And something that is really great about IFSA is that there are many people from many nationalities, from many religions, and they still work together very good, and they can still keep up. And in IFSA, your mistakes are inspected, respected, corrected. So you don't have to worry about make mistakes. You don't have to be busy sometimes and don't do your works. Still, there are people to give you a hand. They can have your back, and you can just learn without losing anything.
That's very true, Ali. Mistakes are something that you're afraid to do a lot, and sometimes you overthink about it, especially if you're part of the higher positions, or maybe it's your first time as an official or a commissioner. But it's something we learn and grow with, and I like that you brought that up as well. So maybe we can also have Elvis for his testimonial.
Sure. Thanks, Chloe, and thanks all the others. For my case, it was really pretty scary at the start, I have to admit. And this is kind of an environment where you have the opportunity to experiment, but also you need to be a little bit self-driven in a way that people don't really have to push you around. I came in during a period which was actually a busy one, because I had an event that was coming up already, and the onboarding was really good. I got into the system pretty well, and also you don't really have to be afraid. There are always people to assist you and help you whenever you ask for help. So one of the things that are really key to a successful period as an official is communication. If you can communicate with others and tell them where you need assistance and where you're not able to perform because maybe you have exams or what, people can always jump in and support you. But whenever you keep quiet and you're not communicating, you create a gap within the entire opposition you're holding, and then things will come in, and then you'll be rushing through things, and it will be pretty scary, and also I mean, it might create a little bit of pressure for you. Yeah, so for me, when I was coming in, I consulted some friends that were officials already. For example, there was Amos Amanubo, who was president 2019, 2020. And I asked him about the positions I was applying for, and he explained to me what they were and what I needed to do. And he asked me what I really wanted to achieve in this, of course, to guide me on which position I should apply for. But of course, the truth of the fact, there are some positions that are more busy than others. And when I was coming in, I somehow wanted that kind of responsibility where I can push myself, I mean, beyond what I've done before, because I mean, I wanted to grow as a person, and IFSA is really that environment where you can grow. I mean, it's just like a work environment that is organized in a way that, I mean, it's easy for you to adapt. I mean, it's not really so pressured, but also you learn pretty a lot when you're unofficial in IFSA. And I mean, there are a lot of opportunities. I've had the opportunity to attend the United Nations Environment Assembly in Nairobi, which I had not really ever dreamed of attending. I attended the World Forest Congress in Korea, which was an amazing event where I had an opportunity to meet a lot of IFSA officials. So being an IFSA official is really worth the try, and it's really worth it when you really want to achieve something. Yeah, so I implore everyone to really give it a try. I mean, if you don't try, you can really never know what you can do with IFSA and what you can achieve. Yeah, thank you very much, Chloe. Back to you.
Thanks so much for our very inspirational testimonies from our speakers. And I think it would be good also to maybe hear some sides from the audience, because I see that there are some IFSA officials in the audience, and there's been some discourse in the chat, maybe encouraging some of our other audience and volunteers to learn about the experiences. So maybe we can have one or two people to present their to have like a surprise testimonial, so that it's something else we can add to the the discussion here. And yes, there's some in the chat who are talking about how inspirational those were. And oh, Bora looks like he wants to say something.
Yeah, I can say I'm currently representative of Southern Europe. Also for next term, I selected in during CERM 2022 in Sardinia, which held in Sardinia. So being officials, I won't lie, because beginning of the term, it was too stressful because I didn't know anything, but Shimon and Elif were helping me too much because if they were like previous one. So it was nice and really excited. Then after all, I loved the position. That's why also I applied again. So that's the main reason, because according to me, I'm talking about my position, you're being bridge between IFSA world to the members, also to the LCs. This is really cool and really enjoying. Yeah, sometimes really, really busy because you have to check, you have to get contact directly, and you have to do some stuff, anytime presentation, getting contact for everything. That was sometimes busy, but end of the way, you're getting really clearly this business make you fresh, actually. I mean, you're just feeling good, you're just feeling nice. Also, there's a suggestion. I also agree with Elvis, Ali, and Apsana others. Mistake is really not problem, because after all, we are human. We can be in mistake. This is one of the most normal things in the world. But sometimes we should watch our attitudes and words and stuff in front of the people. So if you ask me, main attitude is like we should be kind, then we can reflect our goodness to the people, then we can be more effective. effective with this stuff. It's really nice. I mean, if you have doubt about being officials, just jump it. Really, just jump it, because without jumping and without getting involved, you won't understand what will happen in the background. So it's really nice. So if you ask me, I got many friendship, everyone, even you see now, like Chloe, Ali, and like a lot of people, like, because just nice and fine, and also you're trying to be professional with other people with collaboration. It's also like improving yourself. That's really cool. So yeah, it's really great organization. Then a little bit I can say changed my life, because yeah, it's fine. Oh, Yeji also. So I was meeting with her in person. Yeah, as you see, like, I'm smiling when I see the people's face and people's words make me smile. That's other positive stuff. Yeah, that's all from me.
Yes, that's so glad to. We're so glad to hear your testimony. And Boris, so sweet with his loyalty and his attitude towards IFSA. It's very contagious, the energy that he's showing. Um, I think we have time for maybe one more presentation, and I see that Esha has her camera on. Would you like to share something about your experience as an IFSA official?
Okay, so I was not hoping, but okay, sure. So I started with my LC experience first. So first I started as my vice president at my LC, and then I had some amazing seniors. They asked me to go for the international space and explore myself. I was not really confident when I applied for it, and eventually I got. Initially, when I applied for the official post, I was not elected. I was not selected, but still I went for the C4 commissioner post for 2020 to 2021. So then I started working with Alversen, and she was really amazing. But during the COVID time, it was kind of everything was slowed down. And when you are working in a partner commission, it's very hard if you are having the everything virtual because every fun, kind of the most fun part goes away. But still, what I learned from there, that kind of motivated me for the next step. And then for the last year, I applied for head of the subcommission for UNFCCC and UNCCD. So when I started, it was quite challenging, and for any IPC, it's a challenging parties. Whenever you are working with other organization as a licensing or partnership, you are more dependent on them than you want to work. So you have to be very patient and always focused whatever is coming up. And third channel or communication channel is all only thing you have. So on the first half, I was really complaining to the team because I was not doing anything, and it was kind of I was feeling bad that whatever responsibilities I was having, I was not able to do. And I remember during interim, I complained on every brainstorming session that this is the problem. I'm not going to, having the communication with the youth constituencies, because I had two youth constituencies, and I was not even getting any reply. And it was quite a hard time, and I was always complaining. And then obviously, as IFSA is always works as a team, and then I started to work in other subcommission. So I started work with Elvis that, okay, guys, man, I am not getting anything. If you are having any project, let just take me in and I will do something. So for the UNFCCC COP last year, for the online hybrid conference, me and Elvis was doing everything online, and we are doing everything online. And eventually, last March, April. So there was an open call for the youth constituency global focal point for the UNCCD, because the youth constituency of the UNCCD was established in 2019. And since then, it was going on a interim facilitator basis. There was no youth constituency in a hardcore way. And then I was also skeptical that, okay, I don't have that much of experience, or I was not confident. But still, IFSA is a great team, and they always push you for everything. And everyone is like, no, you should go for it, you should go for it. And I was like, okay, fine, I'm not getting it. Maybe I should not make the name of IFSA bad in front of the youth constituency. So everyone helped me so much for everything, like, because you have to go through a very thorough process of application for the process. And then everyone helped me for every process, and every application process was done. And then I saw my name on the whole list for the election process. I'm like, oh my god, how this happened? And again, I'm like, okay, there are lots of people who are more experienced, I'm not getting this. But amazingly, somehow everyone was so inspiring, and everything went so well that I won with the highest vote. And I was not believing myself that how everything happened. So this is how I grew in 1 year. So from the person who was not even confident that whatever we were doing, from there I am holding a position in the youth constituency. So that is the very long journey for me. And eventually I also started interning, volunteering for GLF. So everything happened in a very step by step. So everyone should start from a space, and eventually it's gets better if you are kind of listening to your teammates and keeping little bit of hope in your mind. And as everyone is saying, IFSA is a great team. Everyone is always motivating you, they're always inspiring you. So just grab every opportunity you are having. If you are not even applying for official, you should go for commissioner post and try to enjoy the experience, and eventually you will get something really amazing from everyone. So thank you. It was going really long for myself.
Yes, we loved Esha's story time. It was such a great experience to hear about, and it definitely shows the ups and downs of becoming an official. So when we encounter situations where we don't know what's happening, we're overwhelmed with things, we try not to put too much emphasis on what went wrong, but what we can do to respond to that situation, to be better people in what how we can react, and how we can work with others, or how we can develop ourselves in the process of going towards the goal that we set in our minds. So wow, thank you so much everyone. And as much as we'd like to have more testimonials from the people here, and we can definitely have more sessions to talk with each other in the upcoming IFSA online IFSS online sessions, or if you feel like contacting those who you are familiar with, if you see the list of people here and then check the IFSA team website on the website, you can try to reach out to them if you want to learn more about their stories and you're interested in their experiences. So are there any questions from the chat for our audiences, our volunteers, that you'd like to raise for our speakers and maybe the other IFSA officials here as well? So we can have maybe 2 minutes to see if anyone has a question. Feel free to chat it in the chat box, or maybe raise your hand if you want to say something, or if you're having trouble with finding the reactions, because I have trouble finding reactions sometimes, especially on mobile. Feel free to unmute and we'll try to see who speaks first. So far, I don't see any questions or reactions. It's probably because the speakers and the people who shared their testimonies brought out so much insight. It was so amazing to hear all of those discussions. Yes, we definitely learned a lot from Apsana, Ali, Esha, Elivis, in Bora's testimonies as well. So I think we can end our session here. Just don't be afraid to reach out to us again for any questions and follow up. But before we end and before we go to the picture time, we'll have some. Oh wait, okay, we'll have picture time first. So can I ask for assistance from our volunteers to take a picture of our line up here. I'll stop sharing for the meantime, and then hang on. Okay, so that you can see everyone in the chat. So if you're able to open your cameras, please do so. We'd love to see your beautiful, beautiful, beautiful faces. And then let's have our picture time. I'll be taking one from my side, and the volunteers were able to kindly take one for reference as well. So smile everyone, and 3, 2, 1. Amazing. So glad to have it all. Let's have one more. Let me just save a picture of the first snapshot. Okay, so oh my gosh, I think I've frozen. Um, oh my gosh, sorry. I think I lagged at that point. So, okay, I think my internet's having trouble keeping up with the number of videos at the meantime. So I'll trust that our volunteers have another photo. But just to be safe, let's take one more. So smile everyone again. In 3, 2, 1. Amazing. Thank you, everyone. So before we leave the session, let's have a quick announcement for something that's coming up. And okay, so if you have seen our social media last week, there was an announcement for the open call for the heads of subcommissions 2022. You can see the information in this QR code, and the deadline will be on the 15th of September 2022 at 11:59 p.m. UTC +0. So be mindful of the deadlines, like Sana mentioned, and take note of what time this is in your time zone, or maybe what date it is, because it might be the 14th or the 16th in your time. So don't be afraid again to reach out to the current heads of the position that you're interested in. Even if you're just curious, you're not sure yet, there's no harm in trying or reaching out to them, and always take the opportunity set out before you. So that's it. And we're looking forward to seeing your applications. Maybe we'll see some new faces in the roster of officials in the upcoming term. And we hope that everyone has a great day, a great morning, great afternoon, and maybe even great at night. So thank you everyone once again, and we'll stop the recording here.